Hey, my loves, welcome to another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment because I love to bump gums with you. Hope you enjoy.
Do you mind us asking a couple questions on your sobriety before we get into other stories, or would you rather get straight into other stories?
No, let's ask questions.
I know one of the most asked questions, and we've touched on it, but they always will be like, what was Lala's rock bottom moment? Was there a moment where you're like, that's it, I'm done, I'm sober? You did have it in your book. I remember reading about it.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the plane and the coloring on the face, like that was the next morning you were like, that's it?
Because also there's a story that you told me, and I don't know if it was in that same rock bottom moment, but you were in Vegas
Yeah.
at dinner and you tripped upstairs.
No, that was the same trip.
Same trip.
That was in Florida.
Okay,
at Disney World.
There it is.
No, there were many moments that I would say to myself that I needed to reel it in over, the course of a few years before I got sober in 2018, where it was like, I'm not going to get drunk tonight. And then I would end up drunk again. And then it was like, I'm only going to drink beer and wine. And keep in mind, in the big book, they talk about this. It's like literally what I experienced. You try to limit yourself, right? So I was like, only beer and wine. And then it was like, I can have a cocktail, but let's only have 2. And then the cocktails turned into like in big glasses that really equaled maybe 6, right? And then I did AA for a while where I was still smoking weed. And then I felt like I was making a mockery of the program. Finally, I had just given up. I was like, I like to drink and everyone's going to have to just get over it, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say that my rock bottom moment did happen 6 months after my dad died because that's when I really leaned into drinking. Drinking for me used to just be fun and like we'd go out on the weekends and it would make me loose. Back in Utah, I'd go out maybe twice a month, And I'd get a little lit, but it wasn't an everyday thing. Once I moved to LA and then once I met my ex, it was really bad.
Okay.
And I don't want to place blame on that situation. I'm just using that as the time marker of when it got bad.
He made it easy. Your life was easy for you to drink every day. The responsibilities lowered.
Like
That's
you guys
how
went
I
out?
feel. Like,
okay. Like
when
you
you
guys
met
went out
him,
a
it's
lot?
not like he made you drink or things like that. Your life became easy. You were on a TV show. Things were taken care of. Your life became easier to just have fun on Tuesday, Wednesday. That's how I felt.
Well, I just feel like in LA, there's something happening all
Every
the
night.
time.
It's crazy that Friday and Saturday is a slow night in LA.
Yeah. It's like
That's crazy.
we were like Tuesday through Thursday was when we were like having the best time ever. And then Friday and Saturday is when I'd go into SIR because my friends had to work.
Right.
So like I'd drink, but those weren't the party nights.
Right.
Tuesday through Thursday, it was like, let's fucking go.
You're also, not like it's the elephant in the room, but you're filming a TV show. I don't think I could film a reality TV show, which thrives off of drama, thrives off of interactions that are a little more wild, and not drink. Because I'd be like, I'm doing my job. I'm going to make good TV. I'm going to get loose, lit, say some shit I might filter myself because cameras are around.
Well,
so that probably.
Back to the point of your friend who moved, who had to have drinks to make friends. It's like how you've felt the need to drink to make TV.
Yeah, well,
I
I
fall
moved
into that hole.
Yeah, of course. And everyone else is drinking and you are absolutely terrified being in this new environment. And then it became my norm. It was like I would be on movie sets and be drinking before scenes. It was like we were full blown like off to the races of alcoholism, right? Mm-hmm. So when I went on that trip to Mexico, season 7, and I hadn't been drinking, but then I started sneaking drinks in the middle of the season, got wasted in Mexico. After that trip, I came home and was like, I'm never picking up alcohol again. At Jackson Brittany's engagement party, you see me talking to Stassi saying it doesn't mix. I'm going to be sober. It did not last.
Okay.
I was still spiraling. And then it got to the point where I just caved into the fact that I liked to drink, and at some point it would go away.
Mm.
Like, literally, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'm not ever going to question this again. Like, one day I'll get pregnant and be a mom, and that's when I'll stop drinking, because who would drink pregnant? Well, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Addiction is a wild thing, right? So I'm in that zone. My ex says, I want us to go meet with a psychiatrist. You know, he's sensing that I need to talk to somebody. I meet with this woman. As I'm talking to her, she dismisses my ex and says, like, I would like to talk to Lala by herself. We venture into my drinking habits. She tells me to take this number down. And I felt like she was pushing me to, like, get help. So as I'm writing it down, I was like, are you giving this to me because you're asking me to be sober? Because that's not fucking happening.
Yeah.
I'll get sober when I get pregnant, bitch. Got a few good years, right? And she was like, I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm asking you to put this number in your phone. If you use it, great. If you don't, great. We go to Florida on the family vacation to Disney World. I am beyond wasted, and not like the fun, like, let's get a little buzzed. You know how you see like parents that are with the kids and they're like, there's no driving involved because you're literally staying on the park, and it's like, oh, that's fun. That person like works really hard, and it's like, I'm just going to take a load off. My kids are going to ride rides.
Yes.
It was not like that.
I will say it was fun during the mornings.
You were there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said everyone
So,
was
like,
there.
Yeah. So
My
she
ex's
would,
whole family, my whole
everything.
family,
Okay.
Brandon and Cheryl.
Did anyone
everybody.
else drink with you, or was it a weird, like,
I mean, I think
alone-
No one was keeping up with me, that's
Okay.
for sure.
But that's the thing is, like, she was fun during the morning and the afternoon, but that's where you would hit that one point of you overdrank, and then afternoons and dinners became nightmares.
Me falling down the stairs,
Things
me
like
needing
that.
someone to walk me to the bathroom.
But like the
Okay.
fun that we would have in the morning because you just had started,
Right.
Right.
and then the
Yeah.
overdrinking is.
right.
Just talking about this is taking me to such a dark place
But
that I'm
how
having
many
to
people-
remind myself, like, we don't live in that.
No.
Exactly.
anymore.
And I also want to get to year one when you hit year one and how
Yeah.
you felt. Like, I want to get to that. But I know a lot of people ask about rock bottom, and we can
Well, I
stop
think
talking about it.
but this is why I tell people I think it's important to talk about your rock bottom moment and in some way relive it, because it does take you back to a place where you're like, well, I'm never going there again. Like, I don't want to go there. This is why we go to meetings, because it's a constant, I don't want to say rehashing, but it takes you to
It's the
where you can
reminder.
remember your lowest place. And then when the speaker is sharing, they're taking you to their lowest place and you're relating. And then all of this sudden, the moment that they get sober and the whole room feels like they're not suffocating anymore, and you feel inspired and you go out and you're back to loving sobriety.
yeah.
So we go through Disneyland, me being wasted the entire time. We're leaving to go back to LA. We chartered a jet. Easton got a bottle of Hennessy in the gift shop, and I was fixated on where it was at all times. I got 2 roadies to take to
That's
the
the one
plane.
thing that I will say. I was like, yeah, I want to get some Hennessy for the plane.
Yeah.
I drank it all.
I poured one little drink of Coke and Hennessy,
Yeah.
and I'm just sipping it, chatting.
I drank it
I
out,
look
straight
over,
out of the bottle.
The whole thing was gone,
Stop.
and then
Oh yeah, fuck you.
no, I
Were
was-
you concerned, or were you like, nah, we're
No,
young?
everyone was concerned after this trip.
Okay.
after this trip? I was concerned, but it
You have
was
to remember, my family didn't live in LA.
Yeah, like I had never seen her like this.
Yeah. I was reckless. My life had become unmanageable. And on that plane ride, when I was drinking, it was, I was letting the kids, because they were getting antsy, I was letting them draw with markers on my legs, letting them put makeup on my face. And then, we get home and fun's over. We're back to reality. And I couldn't get any drunker. And I was depressed. I had hit that, where you want to drive your car off of a cliff because you're just in such a dark place, which is what alcohol does to a lot of people. And that's why I would continue to drink the next day, because I didn't want to deal with that level of depression, right? So the cycle just continued. But I remember waking up the next morning Easton was gone. My mom was gone. His girlfriend that he brought out was gone. And I had scrubbed my legs the night before because I didn't want to remember the darkness.
Right.
But it didn't matter if I did that or not because all of the marker was gone off my legs. But I woke up still and said, like, admitted to myself, you're an alcoholic. You're calling the number that the woman gave you. I called my partner at the time and said, I need to talk to you at your office. Went to his office. I told him I'm an alcoholic and I'm reaching out today to get help. I had a meeting that day about something. And it was just like a very freeing moment in my life.
Yeah.
It was for the first time the elephant had like lifted off of my chest. But when I first entered the AA meetings, because, I was going and meeting with my sober coach. She was like a caseworker, Ashley. She would call me every day, and I would meet with her every Thursday, and she was trying to link me up with, she knew I was in a delicate position, right? I was also on a television show. She just wanted to handle it with care. Of course, I wasn't Kim Kardashian getting sober, but she just wanted to make sure I was protected.
Yeah.
And so we found my sponsor. I started going to meetings. I did the whole thing. And for the first 30 days, I went to this meeting and I had so much guilt because listening to, sorry, I got to breathe.
No, breathe.
Take a couple of them.
Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Did I get all three? I'm getting really good at that.